Aaron Page, Hampshire.
Absolutely bullied from Aaron! Rage! Page!
I'm over the moon to be competing against especially at a Giants live show. Max Log is the event I'm looking forward to the most.
Europe's Strongest Man was set to take place on the 4th of April, but on the 21st of March, the UK went into lockdown and life as we knew it changed. 2020 has been a year of struggle, of grief, of fighting, and the constant battle every day, and sheer resilience to carry on pushing through the most challenging times.
Well, over the last 6 months, due to COVID and everything's kind of gone up in the air with a little bit. I've been lucky really, having my own gym. It's kind of given me the ability to keep training and keep my sanity a little bit, to be honest with you. Other than that, once I got back into the training mist of things, sort of didn't have much to train for, so I was just started chasing big lifts. Yeah. It wasn't, to start with, it wasn't too bad, but obviously as time went on, it was quite hard. Obviously being self-employed, having the gym, it did make things difficult. It was more like your money's there at some point, and then at a certain point of just being self-employed, you've got nothing left in the bank because you've spent it all on takeaways and bottles of wine. But
Aaron Page is getting better and better. We invited him to Britain's Strongest Man last year, and he did very well. I think he came 5th or 6th place. 6th place, I think he came. He did very well. And I think he's got some good events here. I think he's going to get somewhere around the 210 log at this show, which is very good, enough to get him probably 2nd place. And he's got some good events here. He's not a bad deadlifter. I think he'll do okay, and he's a lot more mobile than he used to be. One of the problems was I always saw his moving stuff wasn't good enough, but I think he's actually upped his game, probably a bit fitter than he was. So yeah, I think he'll do well, Aaron Page, definitely.
And this is definitely not virgin territory for Aaron. He's been here before. Massive presser. And he's looked like he came ready today. Solid to this stage. The corrections, and he's definitely got that. Aaron, the Rage Page. Can he make it count here? Into that thin air at 200 kilograms.
Aaron, just missing out on 200 kilo there, buddy. What happened, mate? You've got the British record at 216 kilo.
Well, the 170 was a bit of a fight for me. Shoulder went, did stuff with knee tendonitis. 80 I had to just muscle through. 200, I lost it in front of me, which caused me to have that. I don't know, it felt like forever.
Yeah.
Probably was only about 2 seconds, but yeah, I had nothing left after that. Tried cleaning it again. All I could feel was my knee and shoulder screaming at me. So
That's not good.
it's awful.
Training wise, what have you been doing PB wise? What were you expecting today?
I was aiming for 220 was going to be my target today. I've done 220, 210 3 weeks ago comfortably. So in theory, prep should have been there. But today it wasn't.
Okay, so still good points, and we've got another 8 events to go. Still feeling good?
Well, when you say that, it sounds horrible, doesn't it?
It does.
No, I'm looking forward to it, obviously with a different setup, so it'll be fun to see where it goes.
Good man.
Cheers, mate.
Hercules hold, anything grip related isn't a great event for me. It never has been. Something that I've been working on, but the only way I can describe it is casually pulling your arms out of your sockets. The setup visually for the Hercules holds looks absolutely phenomenal because the 2 great pillars, and to the eye, it's very it's got that wow factor to it. So I think it's a great event to watch. It's a good crowd pleaser because everyone knows the old story of the Hercules pillars. Showing that, it looks spot on.
10 seconds passed for Page. Straight at the floor as he approaches 20 seconds and passes it now. Closing in on the 40 seconds, but still looking 4672. Aaron Page taking a win.
Right, event 4 of Europe's strongest man, the Giants medley. We've got a giant chips anchor weighing about 120 kilo, up, load it into the skip, back 150 kilo barrel, back 150 kilo sandbag, and then 120-ish kilo-ish tire. It all loaded into the skip, hands off, fastest time wins. Usually the big tall guys do well at these events, but as we say, this is Strongman, anybody can win. I'm excited.
Do you know what position you're in?
Stood up.
Hey. Do you know where that's on the comp you are?
I'm 4th currently.
How do you feel the comp's gone so far for you?
It's been up and down. Log wasn't as good as it could have been. Hercules hold was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and did quite well in the front hold, beat my previous time, so can't complain really.
What's next?
Medley, 4 items over 15 metres if they did, I don't know. That track, that length.
It's a good event for you. How do you think you're going to do it?
Average event, no, it's nothing I'm really good at. I don't like running, I'm fat. I like static things like log press and deadlifts.
What kind of time do you reckon you'll get on this?
I'd like to say about 30s.
Yeah.
Should get me around mid-table, depending on, we'll see.
Underway, fourth man up quickly, and it's the speed on the feet that's here. And Page quickly back down the course. Graham on his heels. Aaron is first away with the barrel. Come on, Aaron! Put in a bit of a diagonal there, but he's it. And hit right behind him. Gonna be tight.
Good time, come on.
Aaron was saying before this started he liked a shorter course with more things to load. More of a strong loading race than a running race. At the moment he's backing it up and he takes that one from distance.
Go X, come on.
Almost there for Aaron. Page is in, hands on, the race. Nick's right behind him. There's Graham in.
I like the axle deadlift, did it in British Strongest Man this year. I know it's a slightly different setup, it's the wheels rather than the drums. So again, it's pulling on a solid bar, so I think I don't mind it, I quite like it. So deadlift's a good event for me in general, just with the more solid bar it's going to make it harder. But personally I would prefer to have done the 400 kilo for reps, but I can understand why it's probably easier to set up 2 big axles than it is to try and set up 2 bars with 400 kilos worth of plates on.
Number 1. He is representing Estonia. Please give a round of applause for Irvin. Woo! And on platform number 2, representing England, give it up for the Rage, Aaron Page. On the whistle. Underway we go. And we've seen from our first pairing today just how difficult this is, but it's Page who attacks that first one. Solid, confident lifting from Aaron. And he gets the down signal early, 1 under the belt. Down. There's a second for Page as Toots hits his first, and both men are on the board.
Come on, Aaron. Come on, Aaron.
World record for this.
Come on, Aaron.
8 repetitions. Set in Manchester by the current world's strongest man, Martins Lissis.
Come on, then, boys. Come on, Aaron.
Come on, you've got this.
Time.
25 seconds left, guys. Irvin would love to get that second pull if he can. Big hit there. Not today. Page 2 repetitions. Toots just a 1.
And then there's the secret event. And that is the one that's just been added. No one can train for it. You would think the secret event is an event everybody has done many times. Atlas stone, round stone, pick it up and press it overhead. The castle stone press. And actually, no, people don't do it. It's not a strongman event people do in the modern times. It's a strongman event they used to do, right the way back to King Malcolm Canmore, 1,000 years ago. Recorded history, and it would happen in exactly this, places like this, castles. You would have a castle stone, and your clan chief, if you were in Scotland, he would ask you to lift this manhood stone, and if you could, and some were to the shoulders, some pressing right the way overhead. And if you were good enough and you could beat all others, then you could do that. And so it's quite a feat of strength, a 100-kilo round stone overhead. And hopefully, we'll get some guys who can do some big numbers, but none of them have trained it, bizarrely, because it seems such a natural event to do. So maybe we'll bring it back with this event.
So, here we go.
Okay then guys, down.
First one
On the whisk.
the down signal, swift and smooth. Attacking this. We've
Down.
seen it done. And all the heat so far, Bilton there, trying to rip his own t-shirt off. The tacky just applying itself to his shirt there, but
Down.
he gets it, as does Aaron. Bilton, such a
Down.
tall man, lifting to such a tremendous height there. And bad luck there for Aaron, he loses the control of that. Bilton, much more in control of that on the down. And he gets another one. The Welshman looking solid. Aaron right there though.
Down.
Page really trying to push that last one out, and he gets it. Really brave, really solid effort from Aaron Page.
10 seconds now.
10 seconds. Can he get one more in that period of time? Bilton.
One more, come
Been
on.
labouring around the
Down.
far side, but it's Page. Whoa!
Nice.
Page, mild heart attack there he gave me. Unbelievable.
Yeah, give him it, yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you don't make it as a strong man, Aaron Page, you can definitely make it as a boxer, mate. Great evasion there, that was class. And Page levels up at 7, Bilton on 4.
Nice one, boys.
Really great lifting. That was with a flyaway stuff.
So nickel stones, it's basically two massive rocks where you're holding rings in your hands. It just looks awful. You see videos of guys picking them up, bashing their legs, wobbling all over the place. Yeah, it looks like a one hell of a tough event. I'm looking forward to trying it, don't get me wrong. It makes it different from your normal run-of-the-mill farmer's walk, and I know because they're natural stones, they won't be the same weight in each hand. So it's going to test the core strength massively.
Make sure that those small steps are not interrupted by the swing of the stone, which is knocking him constantly off balance, but he looks really focused here. Some time to correct. He's up on the 9 and away again. Focused, width, adjustment on the far out. Down we go. 6.76 for Page, 6.76 for the Rage.
with the keg toss, it's an event I haven't done in competition, so I'm really excited to see this.
Lads here almost, not quite, and Aaron had enough there. It wasn't really the weight, more the cardio.
To be fair, with me, I enjoy stones anyway. I'm not the quickest at it, but I'm quite consistent. I think Brett's finished, I think 5th, 6th. Again, I'm not the quickest guy at them, but I'm consistent, got that power. I've got that explosive power, especially with the first couple of stones. So it gives me normally a good footing. But yeah, no, I really enjoy stones. Good event for me. I can score points on it, and I can take points from other guys. So again, I'm quite happy with it. Brits, I think I did it in about 30 odd seconds. 30, I can't remember. All I know is I remember beating Terry. I was quite happy about that. Not in a bad way, but Terry seems to pick me every year at something. So it was nice to get one up on him. But no, I think I could develop a quicker time. So I'd like to get it in sub 30. I'd be happy with that.
And in lane number 2, Aaron, the Rage Page!
Yeah!
Get it, guys, on the whistle, you ready? Here we go. Aaron Page, Urban Toots. Nothing to separate the two guys. Page attacking this. Some really solid stone lifting here. Europe's Strongest Man 2020. And these guys attacking the ball as 4 goes in for Aaron, the Rage Page. And there's number 5, yes! That's fast as well.